The situation in Chicago is kind of hitting everybody by a storm sideways, upside down rain, like in Forrest Gump, upside down rain, up sideways rain. It's coming crazy. And this particular individual, by a man by the name of Debo Jackson, has an interesting take on why he believes ICE agents are presently in Chicago, especially the black neighborhoods. Now, what we're going to do is listen to him, see if his thought process has any merit to it, and kind of flesh it out on, again, both sides, and see where we go and get to. Let's begin. Talk to us, Debo.
A lot of people are wondering why ICE is in black neighborhoods in Chicago.
Mm.
J. Maul Green, who's an activist who's on the ground in Chicago doing amazing work, expressed it very, very clearly. And he said something that I've been mentioning as well, which is that the reason ICE has to go to black neighborhoods is because a year ago, the black mayor of Chicago, for whatever reason, put migrants ahead of the black community.
Oh, okay, so let's tackle factual things first. Yes, 100% true. In fact, you can go back to even longer than a year ago, where he displaced after school programs from certain gymnasiums to, again, house illegal aliens, where he removed certain funding for certain programs after school and for the homeless, for illegals, and he gave grants to, again, illegals to the tune of almost $700 million that he did not give to the local residents in Chicago. So again, what the man just said, factually true. So we can go forward now with at least a good solid grounding that there was a trend to the benefit of the illegals and the deficit of the locals there. And they did indeed place them, bust them, house them, hotels in black communities. In fact, there were town halls with black people outraged at what was happening, cussing him out, upside, downside, man. They were going ham on Mr. Johnson. And you know what he said? Y'all need to care. Y'all need to care. I'm just trying to do this to help because we were, and he went into the whole slavery thing. We were once displaced and we're just trying to help people who are displaced too, but you're also displacing the people who were displaced for the people who are displaced. It don't make sense, Mr. Johnson. It don't make sense. So again, so far, Debo is on point.
They were putting migrants in black neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that never asked for them.
Facts.
They were giving them resources black people never got.
Mm-hmm.
They were giving them access to buildings that black people used to use.
Factual stuff. Now he did later this year, or earlier this year, he said he was going to give 14 million, I think, or 140 million, something small number compared to what he gave the illegals for business ventures, but you had to be qualified and you can only get a certain amount of it. Okay.
And so people were livid about this and nobody listened. And then now Trump comes in and Trump decides he's anti-illegal immigration. Mm-hmm. So he's going in and sending ICE to go where the migrants are. Well, the migrants are in the black community. And then here hop along white liberals from the north side of Chicago who never invited migrants into their communities, who never wanted any parts of it. They don't want this next door to them. They don't want this in their neighborhood. They're speaking on behalf of black people that live in that neighborhood and saying, we don't want ICE here. And look at what ICE is doing to black people. Well, the question I would ask anybody who has an issue with this, Trump, ICE, all that, it's your prerogative. I don't judge you on this. But I'm going to ask you, have you talked to anybody who lives in those buildings?
Now, please hear me out. I might get in trouble for this one. I might get in trouble, but I don't care. I don't care about trouble. Trouble is my middle name now. Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Is he wrong? He's not wrong. He ain't. Look, he is so not wrong. This has been the MO, and we're going to say it, of the white savior for a long time. Look, it's been the MO of the white savior. Something happened. I don't want the trouble here, but I will come to fight for your cause. And then I can leave and go back to my hammock and iced tea. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they've been using black people for a long time. And look, maybe people might disagree with it, but it's historically factual. So he's not lying at all about this. They don't have a dog in the fight necessarily because they don't have to deal with what's going on. The local residents there have had multiple town halls complaining about the procedures that Mayor Johnson have been implementing They are the ones complaining on the ground, not outside entities, not people who are not living in Chicago. These are Chicago people telling you that there is a massive problem, a disconnect between their leaders, government or leaders, and the people and the things that they do. They've been saying this. So why are we supposed to ignore what they're saying? Oh, wait, maybe it's not. And again, this is a part of the people he was talking about. They're not believing what they believe, so their points are invalid.
Have you spoken to anybody who who's confused? I spoke to a lady who said, "I'm confused because suddenly all these people from Venezuela were in the neighborhood and they had stuff that I couldn't even get." Have you talked to them, or are you doing what the Democrats have done for a very long time? And I didn't vote Republican, but I didn't vote Democrat either. The Democrats for far too long they patronized the black community. You act like black people are your children. You use black people as your pets.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm not. Okay, I can't say it. I'm not. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. No, I'm going to ask the question. Is he wrong? Yeah, I'm going to keep myself out of the hot water this time. Is he wrong? Is he lying? Is something untrue about what he's saying? Y'all can fight amongst yourself on that one. I'm not giving my 2 cents on this at all. I'm just asking, is he wrong? Is he wrong? Okay, let's look at this from a different perspective. If he's not wrong, okay, then what we're seeing happening in the complaints should be valid. But if he is wrong, can you please explain this to me or tell me what benefit what benefit have the people of Chicago seen in the last, let's say, 10 years under the rulership that they've had for the last 10 years? Tell me what's the perks, the upside, where the growth happened in Chicago. And I mean anywhere in Chicago. That'd be the first question I want to have you answer if you believe that he is not being forthcoming or truthful.
You decide what to feed the dog, and you don't even ask the dog because you see the dog as a dog, and we're not dogs. We're human beings.
Facts.
There are people in that community who should be speaking for that community. If you do not live in Chicago, if you do not live in those neighborhoods, if you are nowhere around any of this activity, then you really are talking about something you don't know nothing about. And you are participating in the benign neglect that Dr. Claude Anderson writes about in Powernomics, where black people are always used as somebody's political pawn, but never get to be anybody's political beneficiary.
All right. All right. So before he finishes, I'm gonna try to, and that's what I mean. I do mean try because I can only do so much to portray my heart. We've been saying this for 5 years now, going on 6, that we need to start looking at things in a very objective way. Um, we also need to start looking at things very factually. Okay. Um, the reality of the situation is this: no matter how people, Black Americans, vote, they don't seem to get anything positive from it when they vote for a very specific group. When they voted for a different group, things have changed. That is historically provable in both economics and living conditions. People don't have to like it, but it is 100% factual when you look at things with money, location, cost of living, housing. You look at it and you can decide for yourself if we lying, he lying, or if what you have been told is the truth. The other side to it is that a lot of the times the voting happens against what is actually beneficial to the community. But then the complaint will happen that things aren't happening pro community. Pick one, pick a struggle. Either it's bad or it's good. You can't then 1 minute say it is good to do, but then complain that when something goes wrong, that it was someone else's doing when you were the one that voted for that particular outcome. Again, you may not be able to trust everyone, but there is such a thing as track record. And so far, Chicago, since I think about, I may be wrong, I think it's been about 80 years. So the early 1900s, have been voting a certain way and have had the production of a mayor in a certain color, and you see the results in the neighborhood. That's factual as well. And it's always been that the people that aren't living there are the ones that benefit the most, whether that be illegals or government officials that come there to represent and never live there. They're the ones to benefit from it, never the people of Chicago. Finally, though, people in Chicago are waking up to this idea that, wait a minute, I've been investing and I've never seen a return, especially for me. This last year, all my investment did show a return, but for somebody else that didn't put what I put in. Shouldn't they be upset about that? Shouldn't they be absolutely livid about it? They should be livid about it. And thankfully they are. So finish, mister.
Well, you never come around when black folks need anything. You ain't fought for reparations. You ain't never helped black folks get nothing, business loans, nothing. But yet you show up when we fit your agenda. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like any of this. I'm done. Thank you for listening.
Now, we'll ask the question, final question, and y'all can debate about it amongst yourself. Is there a track record of being promised something and getting nothing? Yes. That's my answer. I'm waiting to see yours. Is there a track record of being asked to commit to something and getting no benefit from it? My answer, yes. Has there ever been an offer on the table to help specifically and only Black America and it was rejected? My answer, yes. And actually, it's happened multiple times. More so, the one happened most recently between the years of 2015, 16, and 2019. Before that, there was a couple of options offered to just Black America in 1866, and then in 1932, and then again in 1964 and 65. So just maybe the people that say they're in the corner for Black America are actually in the corner for themselves while using Black America as their vehicle to get what they want. We've been asking, pleading, begging with Black America to wake up to see exactly what this man is now saying. You have been used as a tool. You have been used. Your plight has been used. Your situation has been used. Your life has been used. Your history has been used against you, while being told it is being used for you. But I always try to say, if you can't see the benefit in fruition, then how do you know it's for you? Show us where in all the times that you voted for a certain thing that you've actually gotten it. Show us, that's all. Especially if you want us here on this platform to think a certain way. Provide us with some proof that your record of voting for a specific people have helped you directly based on what you voted for. And I think you're going to get where I'm going with the questionnaire. And I want you to limit it especially to a party issue. We do want to have that discussion because it is becoming very, very polarized at this point where we have to start looking at things in reality. Not what we wish, not what we hope, not what we dream about, what is. So is he wrong? Is he right about the reasons ICE going in there? Is there a reason that I should be in there to remove that so that we can get back to the crux of the matter, which is Black America's plight in Chicago? And is it possible to get to an end? We look forward to your comments on this one. But again, just remember that you are free to say whatever you want to say about the situation. We just ask one thing. Please keep it cordial. You can always say your mind without being rude, belligerent, or off color. Because we do want to have this discussion and we want to have it meaningful. Mudslinging ain't gonna get us nowhere. Name calling ain't gonna get us nowhere. Just being mature, having the discussion, leave your points of view. We'll read it and we'll get back to you.
I stab stereotypes, the map, the aftermath, math, you call it conflict, I call it context, two lenses, one text, next two flex, they clip a clip, too quick, fix the narrative, I stitch the stitch, back to the narrative, comparative, when your feed feeds a frenzy, rewind, find the friendly faces in the frenzy that they fenced away, street light testimony, shadow speaks different in bright light than in night fights, watch the white light bite, I got verbs that twist verbs, siren that reverse sirens, hear the siren say, listen, my lines are lifelines,